Hey guys, welcome to today's video. I'm going to do some more mock drafts this evening. Cal Toimy's come out with his latest article. I'm sure everyone's taken a fair bit of notice of that. And just in the interim while we're waiting, I've also populated the draft board and the player pool with 2021, one of the more recent super drafts. So as soon as we get a few subscribers in, we'll just have a little bit of fun with that. And yeah, go from there. So I'll just wait for whoever's in the chat. Fire away who you would take pick one if you had North Melbourne's pick back in 2021. You got plenty of good options. You got Sam Darcy and Nick Dacos just staring you in the face. Who do you take? I'll wait for the first subscriber to fire away here. I would go Darcy myself, but I want to see what everyone else thinks. Who are we thinking for pick one for 21? Milkshakes is going Sam. I see we get a few other. I'd go Darcy too. Someone you can build around. He's going to be an absolute freak going forward. How you going, Milkshakes? How are you? Josh Jacobs, I'd go Nick. Great guy, a great player and a future captain. He's probably a great guy too. Great player and a future captain. I think Darcy, who would you go captain with? Ed Richards maybe. Who's it of the Bulldogs young brigade? Who's going to take it from Bont? I need a tiebreaker here, or at least a couple of tiebreakers. Windburn from cycling. You got to hop in the car then. Who's going to be the tiebreaker? Come on. Someone give us something. Have we got anyone else there? How you been, Josh? How you going, mate? I need a third chatter. Come on, someone. Give us the tiebreaker between Darcy and Dacos. Who would you take with North Melbourne's #1 pick of the 2021 draft? You can go someone else, but I don't think there's any. Whitman's gone, Darcy. All right, and we're off and running. Doggies. Are we all thinking doggies get Dacos? I'd go Darcy too. What beer are you drinking? Cooper's Pale. Or do you take Callahan over Dacos? Maybe I've just got my Collingwood glasses on. That's cool. That's cool. They're all bloody good players. This class is epic. Everyone happy with Dacos for pick 2? I don't think he slips too much further than that. Other options, Ward, Mac Andrew. You got Naz sitting there. Campbell Chester, Darcy Wilmot. You probably wouldn't bother with any of these boys. Greg Clark, I remember him. Dogs take Callahan. Outrageous. Dacos is slipping again. Or do you want you want Dacos to slip to Collingwood? Callahan's not a wrong answer. He's a star as well. Or would you take Naz? I'd almost think about taking Naz. GWS gets Dacos. Collingwood get Naz. Who are you reckoning? Who are we thinking? Let's go down the list for you again. You got Horn Francis as well. Very handy player. Gibcus, Rochelle, Ward, Andrew, Wanganeen, Miller, Sheldrick, Chesser, Wilmot, Sin, Van Rooyen. Josh is gone Collingwood taking Naz, Whitman. I reckon that makes sense. That's a solid top 4. Darcy, Finn Callahan, Dacos, and Naz. Yes. Who are we thinking? For Gold Coast. I think Gold Coast took Mac Andrew with this pick. Bring it back up. Who are we thinking? Yeah, they took Mac Andrew. We go Horn Francis. JHF, Josh has gone that. Adelaide took Rochelle with this. I'd look at Wilmot, probably. Best of the rest. GC take Mac Andrew. Yeah. Oh, they did, yeah. Or you reckon they get him again? Where is he? Adelaide are taking Mac Andrew in this instance. Suns pass have too many first round picks. Yeah, they don't want to take him anymore. Who is this Hobbs guy? Why is he right up the top of my player pool here? Went to Essendon. Oh, is he the guy that got dropped the other day? I think he might be. Sheldrick's coming good as a player. Chesser started to show something towards the end of this year. Been injured the rest of the time. Wilmot's a gun. Van Rooyen's shown flashes at times. Used to be a dead-eye dick, but he's been a bit wayward lately. Yeah, he got delisted. I thought so. Yeah. Yeah, I thought the Eagles could even take a look at him with that much draft capital. Same with the North fella, Phillips, whatever his name was. No team outside South Australia would take Horny Francis. I reckon they would, but they'd get 1 year out of him and trade him for a boatload of picks. Wilmot next best? I think so. I'll go down to the bottom, see if there's any real hidden gems. Corey Warner, Greg Clark, Hugh Jackson, Burgoyne, Tunstall, Jesse Motlop, Josh Fahey, Josh Goda, Judson Clark, Windhager, Kai Lohman. They're both handy players. Matty Roberts is a good player. Matty Johnson, also a good player. Mitch Owens. There's quite a few, actually. Sam Butler's had a couple of good games last year. Jack Williams, he's coming all right for the Eagles. Just needs a bit more supply. Willis, Luke Cleary, Miller Bergman, Paul Curtis, Ty Woden, Adam Daolia, Ben Edwards. Oh, I nearly read that name. Bit wrong. Schlensog. Nearly thought it said Schlong. Hamish Free, Jed Hagan, Josh Brown, Kobe Ryan, Luke Teal, Mitch Sibkoski, Oliver Northam, Sam Gilby, and Zane Williams. Wilmot did not slide to the players. Hawthorn got him. All right. We'll do a top 10, I reckon, and then we'll get into the 2025 draft. What do you think? Let's figure out. What do we reckon? Freo, next 2 picks. Who are we thinking? Next best player of the 2021 draft. Let me go down the list for you guys again. Judson Clark, Windhager, Lohman. I'd think about Matty Roberts, to be honest. Brady Hugh, another good player. Is Curtis in this draft? Maybe he didn't come in didn't populate. Curtis, okay. I'm happy with that. I hope he's in my pool. He is. Great pickup. He was he was starring at the start of the season last year, wasn't he? before he got that ridiculous 3-game ban. That was insane. Laid a tackle on a guy, got 3 weeks for it. Sick. Richmond, who are they taking? Would Brady Hugh maybe? Matty Roberts is staring me there. Mitch Owens also. No one else really. Richmond Rochelle. He's very hot and cold, Rochelle. Can go missing for weeks at a time. And Lohman for the next Freo pick. Kai Lohman. It's not a bad draft. I'll go over it with you guys in a sec. Where the hell was Lohman? I saw him. I'm sure I saw him. Where's he going? There he is. Windhager's still there as well. Jace Burgoyne. I assume you're talking about. Port have already passed. I haven't updated their thing. Whoopsie. Let me go back and do that. Because they're still on the default from this year's draft. There we go. I hope this populates now. Are we happy with that top 11? I don't know who else you'd go. Cheldrick maybe. Really drops after pick. Yeah, it does, doesn't it? If you didn't have... I'd go Matty Roberts. And then probably Hugh. You could even have Hugh in front of Roberts. Gipkiss, yeah, he's been a really good player when he's actually on the field. Rarely on the field, though. Josh Ward, he had a couple of good games last year. So there you go. That's a pretty solid draft class, I reckon. Darcy, Callahan, Dacos, Naz, Horn Francis, Mac Andrew, Darcy Wilmot, Paul Curtis, Josh Rochelle, Kai Lohman, Jace Burgoyne, Matty Roberts, Brady Hugh, and Josh Gipkiss. Yeah, agreed. He's always injured. All right. Should we get into some upcoming drafts? I haven't fully read... yeah, I think this is a really good draft class overall. Windhager, we didn't get Windhager in there. He'd definitely get a starting gig up the front here. Where was he? Good call. He's around here. I did see him. I've never heard of half these blokes at the back. Jeez. Well, more than half. Most of them. I'm sure I saw him. There he is. Yeah, agreed. Yeah. All right. So thank you for joining me with that. That's a good little exercise. Just revisit. Doesn't mean anything to anyone, but it's interesting anyway. If everyone had hindsight, that's how it would have played out. All right, let's get into 2025 stuff. Reboot. We've got today's draft board, and we will replace the player pool with 2025. Ready to rock. Oh, I'll get rid of this nonsense. How's that look? All right, Josh is up. Here we go. Taiwo Woden plays VFL and D's delisted him. Is he on anyone's list anymore? $21 and $27 for Gold Coast pick 15. So Gold Coast pocket 281 points for that. Done. Essendon trades 5 and 15 for pick 2 and 13. I do like that one. Actually, that's not going to work. Oh, okay, yeah. I misread that. 5 and 15 for 2 and... So pick 2 for 5 and 15, yep. West Coast could accept that. I think that would be acceptable. And then West Coast trade 13 and 34 to Carlton. What about 15 and 34? Carlton don't make any points on that. Carlton make 85 points for that. It'll probably more than likely be pick 11. In that instance, I wouldn't be surprised. But we'll do your scenario. We'll do your scenario 13 and 34 for pick 19 for pick 9. It doesn't make a ton of sense for Carlton. They just moved back a bit and they're more or less same amount of points. The Bomb Schnizzle, how are you, mate? Welcome. And 34. So 13, 34. Eagles will end up with 1, 5, 9, and 15. Here they are now. 1, 5, 9, 15. All right. Thanks, Chills. Yeah, mate. Yeah, keep spreading the word. I'd like to develop a nice little community with you guys. You guys have been really cool the last few nights. Been enjoying it. It's been great. Like to keep it going into the season, but for the time being, this is all the content we've got with the draft coming up. The Bomb Schnizzle, good name, yeah, absolutely. All right, so we've got our trades. Our trades have been done. Who are we thinking have GWS? I'm wondering if Gold Coast can accrue a few more points. Do you reckon North would trade up 25 and 26, or even 25 and 46? No, that won't be enough. 25 and 26 for 18 or something. Eagles will trade 15 for a future pick. They only have 5 picks total for the draft. They do. I don't know if that's a hard number or not, though. I don't know if they've got room for wriggle. As far as list spots goes, if they've just left one spot open for a train on a supplement period player. Yeah, hit that like, guys. That'd be good. Thank you very much. Who are we going? Are we all happy with Dersma? I saw Cal predicted we're still going CDT. The good and bad thing about Cal is that he is like always so accurate. Whatever he prints, it generally happens. I think he had 10 out of 10 last year with the top 10 or something ridiculous like that. Oh, sorry, mate. Didn't see that. I also said Melbourne trades 7 and 8 for pick 1. Oof. I like it. Eagles are loading up, but they're going to need to definitely start making some trades. Essendon trade 7 and 8. They haven't got it, or is it Melbourne? Yeah, Melbourne, sorry, my bad. Melbourne trade 7 and 8 for pick 1. Yeah, West Coast might not do that. Oh, they get an extra top 8 pick for pick 1. West Coast, Collingwood trade future first for pick 9 or 11. Oh, let's just play it out. So West Coast ended up 5, 7, 8, 9, 11. No, 5, 7, 8, 9, and 15. So nearly half of the top 10. And Collingwood trade a future first for pick 9 or 11. It's got to have to be one or the other because 9 and 11 belong to 2 different clubs in this scenario. It gives Eagles 5 top 15 picks. And that could be good for the Eagles. Yeah, 100% that would be good for the Eagles. The less passengers, the better. Yeah, but the drafting teams in AFL tell Car who's going where. Yeah, exactly. He's got half the managers' names in his phone, so he knows more than most. Let me try and work this Collingwood one for him. Gives Eagles. I also said Melbourne trade 7 and 8. Collingwood trade a future first for pick 9 or 11. So 9 or 11, one belongs to West Coast and one belongs to Carlton. I think you're meaning 11 or 13. Carlton would probably do 13 because they still want to get Harry Dean. Eagles could package 2 of those up to end up with one of Richmond's picks. You'd try and package 8 and 9. So Richmond end up with 3, 8, and 9. Eagles end up with Richmond end up with 4, 8, and 9. West Coast finished with 3, 5, 7. That could be doable. That could be plausible. 11 or 13. I think 13. I think 11. They're going to have to match a top 10 bid still, which they're not going to be able to do if they trade away that. So let's do pick 13 for pick next year's first for Collingwood. So they're happy. They've got 3 first-rounders for Cody Walker next year. Gives them a massive chance of matching that bid. Collingwood trade back into the first round. They get their guy at pick 13, which will fall at about pick 15-ish. You want to play this one out, or you guys want to keep these trades rolling? Eagles would package 2 of these up to the Tigers 3, I reckon. West Coast Chunky. Where are we? So Richmond are streets ahead there. Would you throw that back on the way back just to cover yourself for a Tyler Williams bid? Or would you do 8 and 15 for pick 3 for Richmond? That could be doable. That's still in front, according to the index. 8 and 15 is probably more realistic. 11 or 13, I mean. Yeah, Eagles would package 2 of those to get pick 3. What are we thinking, West Coast, West Chunky Eagle? To get pick 3, what are they doing? What are you proposing? Either 8 and 15 or 7 and 15. 7 and 15 is probably, it's a fair overpay. I'd go 8. That way West Coast get to choose the guy they want there, probably a Sharp or someone. Let's do that. There you go. West Coast have traded back from 1, 2, and 13 to 3, 5, 7, 9. Cal said today, don't be surprised if Pies trade early first round, which he says every year, and the Pies have never traded. So probably is, yeah. He knows Collingwood, one of the biggest clubs. Oh, did you hear what Cal said? We're trading in 18 and 36. Have we still got them on the same team? Gold Coast for 25 and 26. It's a bit of a nothing trade for GWS in this instance. You really want that to be pick 15 for it to be worthwhile. I'm going to clear that. North give 46 as well, maybe. Gold Coast would definitely do that, for sure. All right, let's do it. Oh, sorry. 46 and 52. So you want to trade 18 and 52. It's probably still in their favour. I'd even go 18 and 36 for 25 and for that package, something like that. It's a bit fairer, and Gold Coast still end up with. So what are we doing there? Really, we're moving up 7 spots for North's first. Where will their third pick fall? Their third pick would fall at 57. So they move back 11 spots there, and they move back 10 spots there. Oh, it's probably. I don't know if North would do that. Have I buggered this up again? Let's have a look. North give 46 as well. So you reckon 25, 26, and 46, and you want 52 and 18. Am I reading that right? Is this what we're thinking, guys? $18 and 36, my bad. That was the third one. Okay, so Gold Coast are in front. Yeah, I'm with you. Okay. So Gold Coast pick up a few extra points by doing that. North move up the board, and then their 2 later ones move back a bit. Yeah, they might do that. I think that's pretty fair. It's very fair. All right. Look at our new draft board now. Melbourne, Essendon, West Coast, Richmond, West Coast, Essendon, West Coast. West Coast getting all the odd numbers apart from pick 1. All right, who's on the clock for Melbourne? Who wants to take Melbourne's pick? Who did they trade up for pick 1 for? Is it still Dersma? If we traded pick 13 for a first-round pick next year, who would be our best team to deal with and keeping picks 1 and 2, 34 and 41? Oh, okay. Your best deal to probably Melbourne would be my pick, Nick. So here's all your future assets. Carlton aren't giving up theirs. They want Cody Walker. The only other team with other multiple firsts, I think, is Melbourne, who have Gold Coast first with the Petrarca trade. So yeah, it'd have to be a bottom 16. That's right, and then you'd take Melbourne's pick off them, let them keep Gold Coast first. That'd be your best bet, I reckon. Everyone else has more or less got their hand without too much extra. It'd be interesting to see how keen teams are to trade futures while the live draft happens. I think this is the first year we can do 2 years in advance. All right, so I read someone said they're going Euland. Melbourne go Euland. Gold Coast are going to have to match. They've just got enough, but look how many picks they're giving up in this instance. 5 picks. Boom. Oh, yep. And then someone said Melbourne takes CDT. Gawn replacement. Would they do that? Would Melbourne take pick 13 for a future first? Yeah, they probably would. Back themselves to outperform it. Tassie destroys next year's draft. I think it's the year after. Is it next year? CDT, they went for one for a reason. I'm happy with that. We've got CDT. He's off the board. Dersman slipped to pick 3. But when Tassie do come in, they're going to have every second pick, effectively. Yeah, 27 draft is Tassie. Yeah, I thought so. Yeah. So we got one more year for the Eagles to load up. And then it better start clicking, or we're all in strife. Essendon will take Dersma. Imagine if Dersma slipped to West Coast anyway at that pick. Who would West Coast go now? So both of their options are gone in this instance. Would they take Sharp? Dean? Bid on Annabelle or Patterson? A few different options for them. Dersman's gone. Sharp. Yeah. I think we'll bid on Patterson and then... So Gold Coast have still got enough to match it if he falls to pick 4. They gave up a gazillion picks earlier. There you go, Lou. Thank you for that. Picks 1. So pretty much all the odd numbers up until pick 13. But they've got to trade them. 4 of them. So teams would just be giving up their older, more established players for those early picks, you'd think, you would hope, especially West Coast. I'm wondering if Tassie target Caleb Sarong. I think they got like a $2 million signing bonus that doesn't count against the cap as well to get that star player. My money's on Sarong to take that money. Richmond taking Roby. Okay, here we go. Everyone's happy with Roby. Yep, we got that. We've got 4 votes for Roby. Hey, Patrick, how are you, mate? Welcome. Who's West Coast? West Coast go Roby. They will get Sharp with other picks. Roby will be gone. Roby's already gone. Richmond just took him. West Coast are going to bid on Annabelle at pick 7. Brizzy are matching. They're pretty happy. He's fallen that far, actually. Pick 7. Welcome. Yep, Annabelle. West Coast taking him with his first pick. West Coast are bidding on Dean. Carlton will be. What did Carlton end up in this hand? They ended up with their future first and Collingwood future first. Was it Collingwood? Yeah, it was Collingwood. Collingwood future first and pick 14. So here they've got to burn 14 and 28. They've got enough. They're happy with that. He's fallen quite more than enough what they need. They need about pick 7 onwards to be laughing. Okay, so West Coast up again. They just picked up Sharp. Who's their next target? These are players they got to be happy with after trading down from 1 and 2 as well. Grill, couple of votes for Grill. 3 votes for Grill. Yep. Everyone's pretty unanimous on that one. Nice. That's what we're after. We've got Essendon up next. Meat Grill. The Sizzler. Essendon take O-Face. I know who that is this tonight. Sammy boy. He whose name shall not be spoken. Sam Explosion, yep. Sam climaxing. Xavier Taylor to the Eagles. So that's actually a pretty interesting hand for West Coast. Sharp, Sizzler, and Taylor. Dabo Schnizzle is going Schubert to Richmond. I think they took a couple of bigs. They took a couple of bigs last year with Armstrong and Sims and another one. They took 3, I thought. Who are we thinking for West Coast? So remember, they've got Sharp, Grill, and Taylor so far. Yeah, West Coast have got a few options now. I'd be loving that draft. And Taylor can develop down back as well. Harry Dean and Sandy Brock aren't quite showing it just yet. But in saying that, they're up against wave after wave after wave of unpressured forward attack. We got West Coast on the clock. Who are we thinking for West Coast? Farrow. Oh, Doveston. Okay, we're going Doveston. A few votes for Doveston. Oh, 2 votes for Farrow, 2 votes for Doveston. Who's got the tiebreaker? Love Eagles to bid on Zeke, Annabelle, Dean, Patterson straight up after takes. Yeah, we can do that after, Nick, for sure. Eagles won't take Farrow if they've got Xavier Taylor. Yeah, maybe not. I like Farrow's comparison to Jordan Dawson, though. That excites me. Just to Mr. Fix It all across the ground would be unreal. Farrow as a go-home factor. Okay, well, let's go Farrow. I've got a few votes for Farrow coming in now. There we go. Doveston's still on the board. Doveston to the Hawks. Yeet Goat Obama, welcome. How are you, mate? Done. Cal said today he thinks that the Bombers will take Farrow. So where are they? They're, if we had no trades, they're 5 and 6, aren't they? Hawks are taking Lindsay. I went Doveston already. I jumped the gun on you. Lindsay, gone. Yeet Godo Barmo. Who are you thinking Doveston for? Was it West Coast, Hawthorn, or GWS? Barker for GWS. Let's do it. Where's he? He's down the back bit. Apparently he's he could be going quite high now. Same with Threadgold, he said. I did hear that part. Hey Russell, how are you, mate? I am working towards a release for it for sure. I've just got to kill a couple of hundred bugs first, and then yeah, I think it'll be in your hands by next year, I'm hoping. For sure. I got a few little cool little features I'm thinking about adding as well before we do the full release. If you guys got any input as far as upgrades you'd like to see as well, please let me know. I'm all ears. Pies need a mid. So this is the one they traded up for. They traded their future first for this pick. Who are we thinking? Would enjoy Doveston at the Blues, but it probably won't happen. Thanks, Davo. Cheers, man. Appreciate the support. Well, when's the Blues next pick? The Blues next pick's way... Where are we? 36. You ain't getting Doveston at 36. Nah, no chance. That'll be wishful thinking, I think. So Collingwood, they've got Philippo, Doveston, Mitch Marsh, Ollie Greaves, Oscar Taylor, Ludowick, Thread Gold, Hibbins Hargraves, Swade, Adensall, Curtin and Fincher to choose from for Collingwood. Who are we thinking? Pies, Philippo, Marsh, or Hibbins, or Jai. 1, 2. I got 4 options there. Davo's gone Greaves. Josh has gone Greaves. We've got 2 votes Greaves. Let's do that. There we go. I don't think Ollie Greaves offers pace. It's like one thing that he doesn't offer, just a big body, good extractor. Yeah, a lot of votes coming in for Greaves now for Collingwood. So doggies, who are the doggies taking? I'm thinking Threadgold. Philippo, is that for the Collingwood bit or the doggies pick? Milkshakes? Yours. you've given her team Ollie Greaves, and it's like the last player she wanted. For Pies. All right, let's get the Pies supporter who they need. Let's do it. There you go. Done. Thread gold to the Dogs. Doveston is still slipping, by the way. Richmond up again. Would Richmond take Doveston at pick 18? We have Charlie West from last year and get Zach McCarthy as a bid this year. I think he's a ruck, isn't he, McCarthy? Or he's about 199? Who are we thinking? Who is Richmond at the moment have got... Who did they take? Richmond have taken Roby and Schubert so far. Who do they add to their hand? Richmond get Doveston. Okay, stops the fall. Doveston, Richmond player. Yep, a few votes for Doveston coming in. Beautiful. That's what we like to see. Adelaide taking Marsh. Best available South Australian. All right, North are up. Zach Bailey's got plenty of speed as well. Anything resembling Zach Bailey you'd take. Absolute gun. He's going to get paid next year, that's for sure. Ludovic replaces Tex. That's actually a good call. Mitch Marsh does a pretty similar job. I think his comparison was a Gunston. Which they had Gunston. I think they drafted Gunston, I'm pretty sure. Or they had him after the Hawks and then he went back to Hawks. One of the two. Don't like those top four. Let's go down. Shouty man, how are you, mate? Ludovic, Hibbins, Hargrave. You got Swade, Adensall, Curtin, Fincher, Carmichael, Pickett, Emmett, King, Bob, Mukunda, Max Holmes' brother, Ison, Jeff White's son, Matt Leray. I got double up Matt Leray there. Don't know what happened there. Onley, McGuan's son, Tyler Williams, Darcy McCarthy. No worries, man. You are welcome. Bid on Swade at pick 20. All right, let's do it. I think that's around about the mark. So they haven't got enough. Are they going to match? Are they going to go into deficit? Or are we going to go to the trade simulator for Essendon? Pick a deficit. Can we trade 20 for 26 and 35? Let's have a look. Those are your remaining picks. You've already gotten rid of 20, 26 and 35. Where have you got those numbers from? I'm not too sure where you got those numbers. I'm trying to work it out. I think we did a ton of draft. I don't know, you might have came in late, but we've done a ton of draft trades at the start of this draft. Gold Coast sent a lot to North for picks, so that's probably the picks you're thinking of. Yeah, a few votes for the trade sim. Yeah, nice. We'll get back to it. What did we say? They needed 59 points. I got to boot back up the pop up. They need to acquire an additional 52 points, sorry. So 52 points. You can only trade, Evan, as long as your pick is falling in the top 3 rounds of draft picks, which is first 54 picks. The first pick of the 4th round, which is pick 55, that's not worth anything. So it's basically, you've got to have any point allocation at all, has to fall in the first 54 picks. Okay, North trade 20. So if bid on pick 20 can trade anything below 20. So you need to trade multiple things below 20. But Essendon, they can't really get anything for 78. So you'd have to trade a future third. Would be my advice for just that fewer points. You trade a future third for, what do they need? The bare minimum 52. So you'd go to North, pick 51 for a future third. I think everyone would do that. I don't even think North are going to use that here. They're not. So that's not even a usable pick. They're only going to use those first 3. I'll make it a bit bigger for you. They're only using those first 3. So that pick 51 is probably going to get passed anyway. So if you trade a future third, North will be happy. They've got an extra asset next year, and then you've got enough points to match that Swade bid. Does that make sense? Oh, hang on, we've got some trades coming through. Let me reboot it. North trade 29, 45, and 51. Yeah. For 24. That's enough. Yep. Let's do it. I like it. What were you chasing? I can't remember. Was it? I think it was 57 points or something. My memory's so bad. Suede. Yep, they've got enough there. Okay. So that was a trade. That was a good find there, Josh. Nicely done. And then Essendon have matched. Cheers, Shouty, man. Hey, Super Blue Ice, I don't understand the comparisons. Yeah, some of them are just, it's basically a data scrub and they've just pulled, they'll pull keywords and heights effectively. I haven't gone through and tweaked them as much as I should. I probably should look at it and see what other people are saying. Northburn picks for what? Getting pick 21. Actually, yeah, why did they trade that? What was the trade? What was that trade again? $34, which is, was that the last trade we just did? I've just undone it. What was it again? It was that. Oh, it was up to 25. That's right. They moved up from 20. I think I've cooked the calculator a little bit there by backtracking it. Because we've already matched Suede's bid. Yeah, that's what I've done. Reset. We'll keep going. We're just going to power through that. I've already matched Suede's bid, so that's going to throw it way out. These are those bugs. These are those bugs that I've got to iron out before I can release it for you. Let's power on as if that didn't happen. Geelong take Oscar Taylor to free up Dempsey. I like it. I like that one. All right, who are Freo going? Yeah, exactly. Just whoever they could throw money at. They may as well just pick Merritt or someone as well. A few people picking Oscar Taylor. Yep, Oscar Taylor's gone. A couple of votes for Oscar Taylor. Noah Hibbins-Hargraves to Freo. Pick 22. Gone. Okay, we got Hawks. Hawks have taken, who'd they take? Lindsay. They've only had one pick in this draft. Just Lindsay so far. Who are we thinking for Hawthorn? Ollie Greaves with their second pick. They'd take that every day. I think that's a good match as well. North get some Essendon spud. Yeah, what happened there? Okay. That's actually a North player. Good pickup. What happened there? Maybe because I backtracked it and then try to go through the trade simulator. These are those bugs. I've got to figure a way to get on top of that. On the left-hand side, it's saying North picked up Adam Suede. Right-hand side, it's saying Essendon. One of them ain't talking to the other. was supposed to match the bid. I thought I did match the bid, and that's why I ended up at Essendon. All right, who Essendon taking with this one? Or should we reboot and do a start again with a clean slate? We can keep going. A retired Premiership Cats player here, not given free home from Geelong. Building sponsored move clubs to Geelong. Yeah, they got plenty of money. Plenty of money to throw that way. We created this bug. We did. It's me going backwards and forwards between two things. All right, let's tell you what. Let's just reboot it and let's come up with some more trades and more scenarios that can play out. What do we think? Essendon, he's down the back here somewhere. Where is he? There we go. They didn't even have to match it. That was just their pick. Tui, yeah. Yeah, that terrible tattoo. It looked like a blood stain or something. All right, let's reboot. Here we go. All right, what are we doing? And let's make sure we pick different players this time. That's it. Just throw it out there. We can always reset it. Sydney King and Carmichael. Oh, sorry, Dobo. We rebooted it, mate. We can do that. We can do that this one for sure. Trade pick 2. West Coast straight up Ewan and have Gold Coast matches straight off the bat. Done. So that's what they're burning extra. 15, 18, 24, and 28. What was it when they didn't? 15, 18, 24. So they have to burn that extra pick 28. Which is, how many points is that? 500 points. All right, done. So Gold Coast are in the hole already. 3 bids, top 3 picks. Ewell, Patterson, Annabelle. We're going to have to do some fancy footwork for Gold Coast. They're not going to have enough here. They're in a big points deficit. Do we want to try find these points for them? Or just let them get to the Eagles? I don't know how they would even get these points. 942 points. How the heck are they going to... So they need to get the Doggies pick off them. Maybe the Eagles. Eagles can force it. They haven't got any first to give up, though. That's the problem. They've got nothing they can offer them. They can offer them a 2027 first. A bunch of seconds. And then would Eagles even consider doing that, do you think? They're trading up to match Patterson. Otherwise, they're not going to be able to match Patterson because with what we've done, we've burnt extra points that Gold Coast would not be considered using by bidding on Ewell and pick 1 rather than pick 2. I say we get an extra pick in the 20s. We can't really give him a pick in the 20s because it's going to fall under that threshold to match Patterson like that. See how it goes red? Hang on, I'm just trying to read it all. 3 bids, top 3, Hewlin, Patterson, Annabelle. We've tried that. I think Patterson's going to the Eagles in this instance. I don't know how we're going to get 900 points for Gold Coast. North, trade 25 and 26 to Essendon. Fine points. Who are we trading up for? No, that was for North. I'm just... Basically, we're not going to... Yeah, I think Hewlin won't go pick 1. I agree with that. I think we'll stick with the 1-2. This is throwing us down a rabbit hole we don't need to go down, I reckon. So we can go top 3 now if you want. Brizzy will need to match points, and so will Gold Coast. I would, exactly, Dabba. I reckon it makes way more sense to bid on Patterson and make them make a call on Patterson for sure. And then you got a better shot at keeping Hewland. Make it harder for him to keep Hewlin. If you think Hewlin's a better player than Patterson, it makes sense to bid on Hewlin second, I think. If Eagles walked away with Dersma and Patterson, they'd be stoked. That'd be a great get. You want to go Annabelle? All right, let's do Annabelle. How would Brizzy get an extra 43 points? You would trade these back, maybe to North. North would do that big time. Oh, they don't have enough. No. Would North do that, you think? Up to 17? How would Brizzy get their points if the bid comes in for him at 3? Yeah, Eagles hold all the cards in this draft, big time. They can screw over everyone. I'd love to see him do it. I think they'll play nice guys though. It'd be wicked to see him do it. Who are we thinking for Brizzy to match bids? No, I don't think North trade up. No. Okay, let's not do that one. So we need to find... What do we need to find? 140 points. 140 points. Would you give North second rounder for 150 points? I think you could do that. For sure. What do you reckon about that one? Yeah, we take that. Yep. Future second, I think that's a pretty plausible trade. All right, future second going Northway. There it is there. Brizzy have their bid matched. They've burnt most of their hand doing it. And then I think we're taking Hewlin next. Is that right? What are we thinking? Oh, Gold Coast can still match it. How annoying. What would you say to North trading 22 for Sydney's 28 and 29? Hewland, then Dean. All right, we can do Harry Dean as well. The 12 and 14 is getting gone. And then North, we're trading 22 for Sydney's 28 and 29. I think you mean 27, 28. So what's that given? 23. They're the next one in the... And then that helps North big time. Yeah, they'd do that for sure. Just would Sydney do that? I don't know. Yeah, I don't think Sydney would do it either. They need points for all their academy, don't they? Definitely helps North. I don't think it's plausible. I don't think Sydney would ever do that. I agree, Josh. Yep. Yeah, agreed, Whitman. Yep. Yeah, so you got to think of the other team's needs as well a bit. On points, it's not far off, but that hinders Sydney, unfortunately. All right, who are West Coast going? We've gotten rid of all the academy players now. Academy and father-sons. No, you're right. You're right, man. This is why it's worth exploring. Absolutely. Nothing wrong with that suggestion at all. Roby, I like it. So Dersma and Roby for the Eagles, and then we got Richmond on the clock. CDT. Who's Richmond taking the next one? Sharp. I haven't seen Richmond linked to Sharp too much. I think Sharp could play at any team. I think he's just that good. I want him for Eagles. I don't want CDT. Oh, CDT will be fine. I hope he can develop how we hope he does. But Sharp feels a lot more safer. You want us to get 3 picks in the 25 to 35 range. You just need that pick 50 bumped up a bit. I think when it's all said and done, it bumps up to maybe 40s. North can trade pick 50 and a future to get another pick around 20. Well, who's going to be out of the draft soonest would be who I'll be looking at. Probably Carlton. They're going to be out of the draft pretty soon at pick 46. So you can get their tail ender. Or you can get 26. That'll bump 38 out. Actually, doesn't help because that's behind North's pick. Ignore me. Talking nonsense. Tigers won't take Sharp. They've got Taranto and Hopper plus heaps of mids last year. Agreed. And they got Smilly. Is it Josh Smilly, Lawler, all that coming through as well. Carlton are going to take Cody Walker. Yeah, Carlton got that first round pick. I think they've already got one from Sydney for the Curnow deal already. Yeah, that's what we're thinking. That's what they're aiming at. Who are Essendon taking in this one? Sam Oface. I reckon we give Carlton a future second for 26. I think you're referring to North, You sound like a North supporter, I'm guessing. So how would that affect Carlton? So they want to match a bid on Ison, we think, in the second round. After that, Sammy Jizen. That's it, Chills. That's it, mate. We'll go Sammy Jizen. Oh, and Josh is going Grill for Essendon as well. They need speed. So, yeah, I don't think 26 for a future second is going to help Carlton either. They need first. So, they haven't got a second in saying that. It's not far off. It's just at that point, Carlton will be saying goodbye to Ison. That's what will hold them back from doing that deal. What's the range for Ison? I think what did Cal have him at? I think Cal had him at 22 in his article today. Around 20 to 25, I think, is the general gist of it. Let me bring up Cal's article today. I did see him on there. Lockie, Doverston, Marsh. Oh, no, he's actually way down. 26. So pretty much where that pick is for Carlton. So they might not even have to match a bid. $38 and 46 and points deficit for Ison maybe. Yeah, that'll bump up. Yeah, they could probably match it still. So they fall about 140 points short. So if it comes around pick 26, take away 84 points from that, you're looking at 477. They're going to have enough? No, they'll fall short again. They're going to be a little bit short if that bid comes in at 26. 25 to 30 for Ison. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Yeah, 84 points, I think. It's 10% of that pick 18. Yeah, so it's 84 points. 10% of that into that first round. North Freo second. Future second for Freo's 19. Let's have a look for you. I think Freo would probably want something back because that's like a very, very early second rounder, pick 19. That's effectively the first pick of the second round, which North probably will be down the bottom. But I think you'd think Freo would, even if you give him, you need to give him a bit extra, I think, Whitman. Because that's going to be Freo giving up that pick just to fall back a bit in a few selections for next year. Makes no sense for him. If you could guarantee it was an early future second, they'd do it for sure. No issue there, but you can't guarantee it. F3 as well. How's their hand looking next year? They just got all their own picks. Yeah, you do it. Gives you more trading possibilities. Let's do it. Done. All right. Who's on the clock? Melbourne's on the clock. Future second and 50 this year. Let's bring that back. Future second and pick 50 for pick 19. Will 50 get used for Freo? Let's have a look. 50 won't get used. They're going to take... Actually, it will. It will get used if they get rid of Big 19. Yeah, that helps them. We can do that. Yeah. All right, who are we thinking for Melbourne? I might call it in 10 minutes, guys. I've got a dog going berserk outside at the minute. I need to organise. We'll play this one out, play out the first round or something, and then we'll call it. Thank you for tuning in. Let's keep coming up with more trade ideas. I like exploring that stuff, eh? We got 2 North fans here. That's right, I'm West Coast. You guys are better than West Coast at the moment. So it ain't all bad. You're better than someone. Yeah, you got the women's team as well. They're on like 20 wins straight or something. Schubert. Okay, let's do it. All right, Melbourne's up again. Dabo's going to Schubert. Can we do North 3 picks? Yeah, let's do North 3 picks. Where are they? Please. Okay. 19, 20. Let's get up to pick 24 to the North boys here. I need you guys to start throwing players at me. Who we got with Schubert? We got Schubert, exactly. Josh, they'll overtake the men's in a couple of years. Lindsay, like it. That's a good match. They need kicking. Who are Hawks taking? The Wooden Spoon Cup, North versus West Coast. What are you talking about? West Coast are winning the premiership next year. We got Harley Reid. You know? Farrow to the Hawks. Melbourne, Lindsay. Yep, got Lindsay for Melbourne. Yep, took Farrow. Taylor. All right. I like it. He's flipped a bit. He's supposed to be a top 10 pick. GWS Taylor. Yeah, we've got Taylor. Taylor, GWS to replace Whitfield Run. Yep, definitely. Marsh to the Eagles. I haven't seen that link. Why not? Done. Marshall, West Coast. A few votes for Marsh to West Coast. Doveston to the Dogs. There he is. Who are we thinking for Crow's first pick? Greaves. We already went Doveston. Filippo, yep. That makes sense. Taylor to the Crows. I went Filippo in the end. Josh just beat you to it. Yep. Adelaide took the poo. Who we got next? Geelong. Who are they giving a farm to? Ludovic. Done. Pair him up with Jez. These are the other ones on the list, remember? We're nearing these North picks. Here we go. Where are the North boys? Shouty Man wants thread gold. Done. Same with Chills. He wants thread gold too. Yep. We're all on board. Who are we thinking for Essendon? Bo Addison for North. Yep, North. We've got thread gold. Who are we thinking for Essendon? Curtin. Like it. Pair him up with what's his name? Caddy. North pass because they will mess the pick up. Hawthorn to get Ollie Greaves. I reckon they could be looking at Ollie Greaves that first pick. Don't mind that idea. Yeah. Here we go. The moment you boys have been waiting for. Who are we thinking? Ludwig's gone, Dabo. He went to, where did he go? He went to Geelong. Oscar Taylor, gone. And the bid on Carmichael. North Barker. Taylor's gone. Taylor's gone to GWS. Pick 14. Key position players, North or a small forward. They've spent that many picks on midfielders. North. And then I reckon Essendon will take Swede here, eh? Straight after. Bid on Swede. I think they'll just take him. It's their pick, and then they'll take Pickett. There he is. Not a bad hand for Essendon. What'd they end up with? Cumming, Grill, Curtin, Swade, and Pickett. I want to see what West Coast got out of this one. Dersma, Roby, and Marsh for the North boys. Threadgold, Taylor, and Barker. Dodds bid on Bo Adensol. Let's do it. They're gone. We've used those picks, but we can go. Carlton can bid on Adensol, and we see if they match it. Where was he? Yeah, they won't have enough. They got to go in deficit. Actually, that's a good point. Ison would go about here for sure. We just spoke about that before. That makes perfect sense. Who are we thinking for the Swans? Zach McCarthy. Collingwood match it. Yep, I'll take him. Collingwood had a couple of picks in this one. Nope, that's their first pick. I guess that's what they get for trading their future for Dan Houston. All right, these dogs are going crazy. I'm going to call it, guys. Thank you very much for joining me on tonight's stream. I'll be back possibly tomorrow, or at least the next day or two. I think there's a chance I could be doing a stream with Pommy as well tomorrow. We'll see how we go with that. So thank you very much for tuning in, and I will catch you on the next one. Thank you very much.